And then it's like the longer they're in the server, the worse it gets. I don't know, like if they just affect server performance. The frame rate gets drastic. We'll see what happens, but it doesn't seem like it's continually dropped. And because it's server side, that's why I don't even know if an FPS counter would help. Oh, that was probably made that sketchier than I needed to. Got on the brakes too hard. All right. I don't see any yellow flag listing, so yeah, frame rate's definitely lower than usual. It's, yeah, you can make specific custom livery, not the same way in PC, like you can't create it in a PC and load it, but you can change colors of, you know, certain designs and choose your number and all that. But apparently, I've seen it mentioned multiple times that if you have a livery that was created on the Xbox One version and carried over, it can cause issues. But what's interesting is I mean, Pizzetta has raced in our servers before since the next gen update, and I know he races in another league, so it'd be weird that it would suddenly just now be doing it, but I don't think it's a coincidence that he said last week and it wasn't affecting him like it was everybody else, and then that we didn't have that issue until he joined. But yeah, I mean, y'all probably can't notice the frame rate right now because Xbox streams at 30 FPS, and I don't think it's running below that. But technically with this issue, it gets worse and worse as it goes, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm gonna message Pizzetta after and just see if he uses, whoa, buddy, an old custom livery or not. Whoa! And said, get the hell out of my way. But yeah, it's not to the point where it's undrivable yet. Let's see. Be awesome if we got to do custom liveries on Xbox. But I mean, that, TG, correct me if I'm wrong, that's not even something that's like officially supported, right? Like, it's not a feature they built into the game. It's sort of just you create it and either upload it to the server or something like that. God, that Lexus came in hot.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
gotcha. Oh, so is that why... So is that why Molson has people send them to him before the PC stream, so that way they actually show up on stream? That makes sense. That's kind of what I used to do back in the old like Need for Speed Underground days on PC. People would make custom liveries or custom cars back when you could just go into the program files extremely easily, and you could replace specific cars or livery choices in the game, but they'd only show up on your screen. Whoa! Alright, we've been sticking with Unlock Shoe. I don't know where he qualified, but he definitely gained a spot or two. I don't remember there being a Bentley right behind me. Shit! Yeah, so I'd say frame rate right now is lower than it normally is, but it's not continually dropping, and it's drivable, so I think we'll stick with this race. If it becomes undrivable, maybe just shorten it to 45 minutes. I don't know. This was supposed to be our finale at Imola this weekend. Because of Spa last week, we had to push everything back a week.
Well done, mate. Your fastest lap so far.
Alright, we just lapped as fast as Frosty that time.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Whoa!
Clear on the right.
That
Yellow
was...
flag in sector 1.
I wonder if the curb hooked him. Huh. Can you tell me if Pizzetta is in that race, TG? Yeah, unless it's just like a global G portal thing right now. Actually, another week I raced and they had that happen once, and it was a specific guy, and we couldn't see him, and he had no ping. And when they restarted the server and he didn't join, we didn't have the issues. But then later, that guy's been able to join the server with no issues. I don't know if it's like they just put like a lot more CPU load on the server, and it really only matters when you have a ton of players. But I mean, we weren't having issues at all, like I said, until he joined, and then he left quickly after. And so that's why I'm wondering if it's just some sort of, whether it's like memory leak. I'm saying that as if I know what that really means, but I've seen that happen with like Flight Sim. But I want to give G-Portal. I'm going to let G-Portal know. I mean, they seem interested. They're like, hey, you know, they weren't like, oh, we moved your server, thanks, that should fix it, you know, ticket closed. They, to their credit, they want as much info as they can get, so. Alright, front right. Pressure might be a tad high, we'll see. Some people are in the pits. I don't know if that's
Warning for exceeding track limits.
frame rate or for, I'm going to go to the Someone had a frame drop in a Rouge and someone else disconnected. The disconnected is unrelated. That's just the game bug. God, I hope version 1.8 fixes this shit. So much potential that they have with this game. We're literally just asking for better server stability and for the game to not crash. Every once in a while. I surprisingly haven't had too many game crashes. I had one this morning in the practice server. But other than that, I haven't had one in months probably. As far as just randomly. I know right now when you reset the server, it crashes the game if you're still in the server. But if you just back out of the server before it's reset, then you're fine. Whoa! Alright.
Gaining on the car heading sector 2.
The most specific thing we have right now is September. They mentioned September a little while ago. And then on the 505 Games Discord, they got a new, I don't know, community manager, something like that. And, you know, some people were like, obviously, like, hey, you know, there's a lot of bugs and shit. And I tagged him and asked on there if 1.8 was still scheduled for September. I was like, we'd rather know, you know, sooner than later if it's pushed back. And he said that the info in that blog post from earlier is still the plan or something like that. So I have a feeling we won't know until like the day before or the day of when it actually releases, but hopefully it really, you know, I'd rather them delay it if they have to make sure it runs well, but yeah, so we'll have, yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, I know community managers, you know, unless, like, it's not like dude is actively involved in the development of the game, so he's not going to know unless he's told. But that's why I kind of asked again. I was just like, even if it was, you know, we're still aiming for September, but, you know, might change. I don't know, he just said the info in that post is still accurate, so that's the thing. Some people on there seem to think like the community managers are anything more than a tool to relay information. But so yeah, 1.8 it's gonna be physics changes, entire model changes. It had no ping. Okay. Yeah, that's so the only thing I can think of is if he can try just the standard livery. I don't know if they're still doing the race or whatever, but I've seen someone mention that as an issue. Now, it's possible he can just delete his custom livery and make a new one, and that fixes it. I don't know. But yeah, so that seems to be the common denominator, which is really unfortunate for him because there's nothing, you know, there's nothing he can do. Oh, that was...
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Bit of a bump there. That is interesting, though. I mean, that's something I can mention to G-Portal, too. Is, hey, they went to another league server and they had the same thing happen. So, it'd be sweet if we could figure out what the issue is.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Alright, lose a little bit of time there, but... Because yeah, it seems like the longer they're in the server, the worse the frame rate drops. Because yeah, ours hasn't, I mean, it was, last week it was undrivable. The frame rate dropped to, like, I swear to God, 10 FPS. It was horrendous. Whereas here, it's definitely not at 60. And...
Warning for exceeding track limits.
Oh, that's warning 2. I don't even remember getting warning 1. I need to start paying attention. It's at 30 at the lowest. But it seems still a tiny bit smoother than it was on Xbox One. Dude, everyone is getting stop and goes for speeding. What is going on? Just ask him if he was using a custom livery. Yeah. That's gotta be frustrating for him. 2 different races he wanted to attend, and may even be able to test it out after this if he's willing. Like just me and him hop in and try to see if I, like with a custom livery, see if that causes it. And it's not the player count that matters, and then have him switch to a different livery. I know you have to restart the server every time to like completely clear it. It'd be interesting to see if it's a game code thing or if it's a G portal thing. Alright, Outer Known is only a second behind. He has been just chilling comfortably. But yeah, so Max, we're gonna have a weekend break next weekend, but we're doing Imola next weekend. And then we have the multi-class race after that. And then probably just gonna do a week break after that. I think one was originally planned, and then season 5 was gonna start the next Saturday. But if 1.8, if we get a date, I'm gonna make season 5 start after 1.8. It seems like on the poll I put up on the Discord that most people would prefer that, assuming it comes out in September. If it comes out in like, you know, late October, we're not gonna wait 5 weeks to start. But yeah, so, and then gonna shortly announce the next Sunday Casual Series. We got our last race this week. Getting a poster together and all that. That one's gonna be, I'm interested to see how well this one does as far as attendance. It's gonna be kind of hard or interesting to organize, but I think it'll be fun. And then depending on if we get the M2 and the new 911 Cup with 1.8 or not, I doubt it'll be included for free, but if they release this DLC at the same time, we'll do definitely do a casual series with just those things. Apparently the M2 and the Cup car are really, really fun to drive. That's Frosty Harmony. He's doing about the same lap time as us, so we could potentially, if we do a faster pit stop or something. Yeah, that corner in this car is just not scary whatsoever. Did last season in the Lambo, and I want to say it was pretty sketchy in the Lambo. So Schmitty disconnected earlier. That's why he's in 10th, which is unfortunate, but thing is, always rejoin because you get points if you finish. And we got 15 people in here. Even if he finishes 15th, he'll get 15 points. You don't finish, you get nothing. Oh, Schmidt, you didn't have to let off that much. I do appreciate it, though. Ugh. Yeah, I was fully willing to try the M4 and like the M4, and I just didn't. I didn't like the way it drove, and it sounds kind of boring. Like, for me, it seemed like it wanted to understeer really bad on corner entry and then oversteer really bad on corner exit, and I was just not fast in it. And I think it looks, the race version looks alright. The road car with that grill looks horrendous, but the race version's like a foot wider, so it proportionally just works better. But I did enjoy the Lambo, and I was pretty quick in the Lambo. The only thing with it is once the front tires seem to always go on it first, and so you get like understeer high speed corners, and you know, try to use the gas to rotate it. But Lambo sounds awesome, and with the new camera settings you can actually get a really good view out of the car now. So yeah, it's really, really solid, and it looks cool. The design has aged really well. I feel like the entry-level Lambos are the ones that seem to age the best. I mean, really all of them. Yeah, the Aventador still look kind of good, but like the Gallardo looked, they didn't replace that thing until like 2014 or something, and the thing, like, I guess the original first few years look a little old now, but like compared to other cars from 2002, 2003. Dude, that was smooth. Alright, so I got enough fuel for 2 laps. And to be honest, we're going to do both of those laps because we have clear track ahead. Outer known is dropped off. Not under the threats. Look at that. He stayed where he was supposed to. I went where I was supposed to. That was fun. Still kind of sketchy, but fun. And now he's using... Who's Dozer using this season? I want to say he's using the Mercedes. I'm considering using the Mercedes next season. It's one that I haven't used for a full season yet. I try to switch it up every time. And I don't know if I'm going to like it. It doesn't seem like many people use it on Xbox. I know it's pretty bad with fuel and tire wear, but... Or that's the assumption. But what I like about it is you can actually adjust the front arrow, so you can just do max arrow in the front. I know it can be quick, because I did a endurance race where it was 3 of us, I think, or 2 of us. And that was the car we were using, and I was like over a second off the pace of my teammates with the identical setup, so I know it can be fast. And that's technically what this rim I have is modeled off of, the Mercedes one, Mercedes wheel. Everything but the Mercedes logo. Alright, got more than enough fuel to do 1 lap, so we will do that. Ooh, is that outer no in the drive-thru? It is. JB's 25 seconds behind him though, so... It's gotta do... Oh, this is like the worst track to get a drive-thru on too. Alright, so either Frosty or safe a pit. It's Frosty. I'm guessing he was getting close to traffic. So we are going to drive damage. Keep passing the damn. I have 0.119 seconds of damage. I think we'll be okay repairing that. I just love the idea that someone can fix whatever's wrong with the car in 1/10 of a second. Somebody like the livery's peeling off and they're just gonna pat it back down. Alright, hopefully Frosty does not do a great pit stop. Outer known as Critter's drive-thru. So I think he still has to do his pit stop. That's not good for time. Neither is that. Alright, it's about to be the exact halfway point. We'll be pitting.
We're halfway through, not over yet.
You know what I just realized? What if there's not enough fuel to make it all the way to our grid spot? That would be pretty funny, but I think we'll be okay. Actually, that would not be funny. That'd be horrible. But it looks like we'll be good. I might actually need to add some fuel. Just to be safe. Alright, gotta be careful here. It's easy to go too wide and hit Concrete blocks. This is such a long pit lane. Alright, let's not screw this up. I try to park angled like the spot looks earlier this week, and they moved my car anyway, so... Come on. And then they move it to... same spot. Whatever. Whatever! Stint limit 15 minutes. So you had to change drivers every 15 minutes? That seems excessive. There's no way they do it in that short of a time in real life. Shit, Frosty's gonna pass.
Mandatory stop is now clear. Let's go, 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 go.
That's Frosty right there. No, that's Schmitty. No, that is Frosty. Alright, road is clear. It does seem, now this is a bit premature, because I only just posted the polls today, but it does seem like most people want to have a pit window in our races, so we will, I know it can be done in the server, because I've been in races that do have them. So I'll need to figure out how to set that up, but it could be interesting. I wonder how that works with endurance races, though. Like, if we do races with more than one stop, if you can set multiple pit windows, or if in those races it's just no pit window. Alright, Frosty.
Yellow flag ahead, be careful.
Let's see if we can gain on him. JB has moved up to 4th. I don't know how to do his drive-through. I wonder how close they are. Oh, Outer Known's down into 7th. Yeah, drive-through in Spa is probably the worst track to get a drive-through. Just doing some suspension durability testing here. But yeah, it sounds like people want to keep the same scoring method, the fully linear. 30 points for first and 1 point for 30th. And people like the way we did weather this season, which I much prefer as well, instead of... In real life, weather's like fun in theory, but... And I mean, I guess we could still do the time of day, set the time of day to whatever we want, and still do in real life weather, but I kind of like having a rainy race scheduled. 1 or 2 rainy races scheduled. Yeah, and just like the time of day, you can just make things, I don't know, more interesting. Because like we did Paul Ricard, and I set it to sunset because Paul Ricard's a very boring track to look at. But when there's a nice sunset going on, you know, suddenly it becomes cooler. And I'm hoping they'll fix, right now the headlights on console are not very good. It's been that way, I mean, even on the Xbox One, it's not a new thing, but and your high LOD textures on the front and rear of the cars don't load until you're close to a car. So night races right now are pretty dangerous, but with 1.8, apparently or not even apparently, it's proven the M4's headlights are actually really bright. So they work really well, so it's not that the game can't do it, it clearly can. So if they get all headlights working correctly and to the point where you can see brake lights, you know, decently far in the distance, then do at least one night race. I think that'd be fun. Alright, Frosty did a 220.0, we just did a 219.8.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
Well, granted, I don't know if he was held up at all. No, we don't even know if we'll get the American... Oh my god! That was terrifying. Whew. No, we don't know about the American DLC. I think they confirmed that Challenger pack or whatever, which was the Porsche Cup and M2, and that's it. They pretty sure, if I remember correctly, they confirmed that in the same blog that they confirmed 1.8 was coming. The American DLC was announced after that blog was written, so I am not sure. I would love to. I would love for it to. Then we'll obviously incorporate those in a full season and probably just do a casual series where it's, you know, all the, because I think that was, what, 3 tracks? And then just throw Laguna Seca in there and do like an American casual series.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Yeah, we'll see. it's just from their words, it sounds like they've invested in making the game easier to update quicker and being able to put hot fixes out and things like that. So I'm hoping it's like 1.8 is going to come out, and then from then on, the rate at which we get stuff is going to be quicker.
Car on the left.
Oh, damn mess. No worries, no worries, no worries. Forgot he switched to the Aston. And hopefully in 1.8 the Aston is competitive and doesn't have weird lift-off oversteer issues. If they get the Aston working before the next season, that is... Alright, so my frame rate might have actually, like, increased. Maybe not. I'll 100% use the Aston, because I love the way it looks and the way it sounds. And you can make some really cool liveries on it. But as of now, it just slow speed corners has ridiculous lift off oversteer, like talking like 30 miles an hour. The thing's just like, nope. And some people work around it, but I mean, I could do a full season in the Bentley, but I just don't like the way the Bentley looks. I do really like the way it drives. I've driven it before, but I don't think there's a mid-engine car that I've not already used for a whole season. I usually prefer mid-engine, so that's why I think I'm gonna go with the Merc, unless they fix the Aston. And yeah, no, it might actually, TG, it might have been you that brought it up. It will be interesting to see if when we get 1.8, if that bug with the rear toe is a thing or not. Frosty really jumped ahead after that incident at Rouge, or Redion. I think that's how you pronounce it, Redion. It looks like Redallion, but I know that's not how it's pronounced. Oh boy.
Falling behind to the car in front in sector 2.
Ready on. Okay. It's just not as fun to say as a Rouge. Little drift there. Yeah, I'm glad I finally did the McLaren for a season. I swear I would consider it every season and then do a few laps on tracks and be slower than the Ferrari or the Lambo and decide not to, but once I got used to how it drives, I wouldn't say I'm quicker in the McLaren, but I'm pretty much as quick to the point where it doesn't really make a difference on most tracks. I just really like when it slides. I was expecting it to be way more snappy, because the whole thing with it is that it relies more on aero than mechanical grip compared to the other ones. So I was expecting it to be snappy when you lose it, but it really is one of the smoothest mid-engine cars to slide. And I feel like it wears all four tires relatively evenly compared to other ones I've driven. Doesn't sound the best, but it doesn't sound bad, and it's got a decent view out. And it's one of the best looking ones. If oh! Alright, come on, McLaren. I was just complimenting you. It's one of the best looking ones. Custom livery selection sucks because it's the same one. It's the only one you get, but at least it's not an ugly one. Yeah, unless something happens, I think we're pretty safe third place here on the podium. We'll have 90 minutes at Imola. Read this update from TG in a minute, but yeah, there's gonna be a 90-minute race at Imola next Saturday with 2 pit stops. And it's gonna be the one race where the weather is going to be kind of iffy. There's gonna be a chance of rain instead of it being set full rain. So we'll see what the weather ends up being, but and then that'll be the season finale. We'll have and then multi-class race, which we have fully signed up, 15 GT4s, 15 GT3s, and then 3 reserve GT3s. Didn't look like there was a way on SimGrid I could restrict reserves to a car class. I could do the total number of reserves, but I couldn't pick like 2 for GT3 and 2 for GT4, so. Alright, so it isn't a GHR race with a ping, and there doesn't seem to be an issue with the frame rate at the moment. Okay. So I'm gonna ask. Yeah, I wonder if he used a join back in a standard livery.
Losing time to the car in front in sector 2.
That's good though that it's at least fixable, but it does seem like it's not a G portal issue unless they reset their server and somehow it fixed it.
There's a slow car up ahead.
Alright, please don't be right at the top of the hill. Alright, we're good. I think they're already back. Is that Frosty? No. Okay. So that seems to be the issue then. I just wonder if his is old, or if it's just randomly your liveries will start. Because the thing is say if I have a livery from the Ferrari, right, that I use on Xbox One, then the Series X version comes out, and I use different cars for a few seasons, and then decide to go back to the Ferrari, and then I'm using that design, that's going to be an old design. I wonder if that's the case. Because I know Pizzetta's raced in our league, but I honestly don't know if he was racing that much this season. I don't think he was. But at least that fixes the issue, so. I mean, there's different colored liveries. That's the thing. You can choose any of the liveries that come with the game. But it sounds like what the fix is you delete your. Because I think people were thinking this caused the game crashes that were way more prevalent before the last hotfix and server update. A lot of people were saying it was specifically the Ferrari, and it was old liveries, and so you could just delete it and then recreate it, and it would be fine. And because I think actually I messaged Frosty shortly after that update. I think I said something like anybody using the Ferrari, make sure you do this. But yeah, I mean, making custom liveries half the fun of picking your car, right? But yeah, I'll let G-Portal know. That the issue we had was one specific player. They went to another league, caused the same issue. And then when they switched to no custom liveries, it fixed it. Yeah, I would definitely recreate any liveries that you have from Xbox One. And that may be a thing. Maybe Pizzetta just moved from Xbox One. I mean, the name is familiar. I know I've raced with them before. I don't know how much since the update. Remember the old days where you just bought a game and it was just the way it was? And you just played it? Even like the 360 days, for a while, they would add content, but games weren't launched with issues. Or with that many issues. Like the first Call of Duty Modern Warfare, I remember that one. There was some overpowered stuff they didn't have. It was just, yep, grenade launchers. The underbarrel grenade launcher on the M16 was overpowered, and you just dealt with it, or you messaged someone who used it, and you said, you know, you can only win using that, huh? And they didn't have to rebalance the game 800 times. Like all the Forza games worked. Like Horizon 5, when it first came out, you couldn't even get in like a convoy with, or you could get in a convoy with your friends like half the time, and then when it did work, you couldn't see them half the time. And I'm just like, how are we at the level where that is like an issue that happens in I guess it was 2021. It's like you have 700 cars within car view and everything, but I can't see people I'm playing with. And then luckily they fixed it since, but I think that did some irreparable damage to that game. Because it definitely put a, like, I like the Forza Horizon games. They're fun to just mess around with. Make ridiculous cars and do ridiculous things with them. But it definitely put a bad taste in my mouth and some of the people I played it with, because it took them forever to fix it. That's the thing, if it was like, oh, this specific race type doesn't work or something, like, that's fine. Or it's not fine, but it's, you know, an issue that's like, whatever, we'll just play something else together. But you couldn't even see each other in the first place, so there's nothing else to do in that game. Or I think you could see each other in, like, races, but in the free roam, exploring and everything, you couldn't. And that was no fun. Dungeon Keeper. Actually, I don't know what that is. I never really, I don't know why, I've never really played that many like RPG games or MMOs, if it's one of those two, growing up. Like, there's always racing games, and then I was in 64 for a while, and then once I got like the first Xbox, a couple years after it came out, it was pretty much, yeah, just shooters and racing games. So I didn't even, there was like Black Flag was the first Assassin's Creed game I ever played. apparently the first two were really good. And now they're all just cookie cutter. Same shit. But ACC's kind of spoiled me. When I play any game now that's not a racing game, it's like, it's just not as engaging playing with a controller. Should I have gone to first there? I don't know. Yeah, well, it sucks that like Unity launched, you know, in a horrible shape, but it was like they were actually going to have, you know, 4-player co-op, which is, in my opinion, the one thing that would make me go back and play more Assassin's Creed games. And then because that game was received so horribly, they've never included it, and it's like, that wasn't why people hated that game. People hated that game because it didn't work. But yeah, I played, which ones? I bought Origins when I got the 1X and a 4K TV just because of 4K hype and HDR hype. And then I bought the Syndicate one, the like London Gang one, and that one was actually like pretty fun. I've played that one a good bit, but I don't think I bought Odyssey. And then I played, a friend of mine bought the most recent one, I forget what it's called, the Viking one. And again, it's just kind of meh. Far Cry's been the same way for a while. Far Cry 3 was really fun. And then Far Cry 5, at least you can do the campaign co-op, but the world wasn't that interesting. And then they ruined Ghost Recon. They had Ubisoft had Wildlands, Ghost Recon Wildlands, which was a good skeleton of a game, and then like the driving physics were really bad. Like, I didn't need them to be sim-like, but like, you know, you play Grand Theft Auto, and yeah, it's not realistic, but the cars, at least you can understand what they're doing. And yeah, the cars in Ghost Recon Wildlands were like balloons. They weighed nothing. And it was like, alright, all I gotta do is refine that in the next game, and it'll be good. And then they decided to make it just a rip-off of The Division. Which Division 2 is actually fun. I will give them that. I played the hell out of Division 2 with a couple friends. That was fun. But now I don't really get excited for any Ubisoft games, which is a shame because the old Ghost Recon games, like Ghost Recon 2, Advanced Warfighter, and I think Advanced Warfighter was probably was one of the first online games I played when I got Xbox Live. It was like that and Forza Motorsport 2 in the same time. I'm playing on a little like letterbox TV that I've had to plug up next to a router, because the 360 didn't have Wi-Fi built in. Those were the days. Yeah, I've thought about buying Cyberpunk. I don't know if it's a Game Pass thing. Oh damn, the race is about to end. I don't know if it's a Game Pass thing or if it is just anybody. But there's I've downloaded it. I haven't bought it. I haven't played it, but I've downloaded it to my hard drive. The game, and there's a free 10-hour trial. And like I said, I don't know if it's for everyone or if it's Game Pass. I want to say I didn't have Game Pass when I did this, but so yeah, I might try it out because yeah, apparently it's like a solid game now that they've fixed it. I think they've basically said there's no multiplayer coming, but it seems like a game that'd be fun to play through once and then kind of do all the side missions and things like that. Especially if you can get it on sale. Like, that might be something I pick up on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and whenever. But I've just found like even really good games I buy that aren't racing games, I don't play them anymore. Like I want to say I don't have the time, but as really as I do have the time, I just don't find them engaging. Like the Guardians of the Galaxy game is supposed to be really good. And I've played a few missions and really enjoyed it, but I just haven't felt like getting back into it. And I'm worried Cyberpunk would be the same way. I would have finished that game Control. I bought it on Xbox One X and probably got more than halfway through the story. But it ran at 30 FPS, and so once I got the Series X, it was like, alright, like, I don't want to be playing any more 30 FPS games. And then 505 Games made it where to get the Xbox Series X enhanced version, you had to rebuy the game. Not like, oh, pay $10 to upgrade, like rebuy the game. And so, not gonna do that. Which is a shame, because I got it for half off when I bought it on One X, so I probably would have paid the $10 to upgrade. I would have finished it, but out of spite, I'm not going to. Alright, solid third place. And while the race went on, we did some detective work and have figured a little more out about this this issue, server issue. Not just our server, so that's good to know. Whoa! That was close. Alright, we're gonna go back to the garage, take a picture of results. Yeah, I'm interested to see how many people disconnected. I don't know, ended up back in 5th, so nice job for him after having a drive-through. Alright. And get a final picture when the last person fully finishes, because it will change the laps they were behind and times and all that. So just in case there's any penalties. Halfway through Red Dead Redemption 2. I liked some of it. Yeah, I couldn't nail the Apex in your voice. That is another game actually that I bought and then didn't really play much. I barely made it in that game. I played some of the online, but I barely played much of the campaign there. I will probably play GTA 6 though when it comes out. I've always enjoyed the GTA games, and it probably is just because it's fun to drive cars in that game. As unrealistic as it is, it's still just fun. So, all right. So yeah, gonna send G Portal message after this, and then get with Pizzeta, private message him, and see if he can confirm about his livery. If that's all the issue is, then that makes it super easy, and it means it's not the server, which means everyone else that's been, race after race after race, the issue isn't going to suddenly be caused by them out of nowhere. So got a podium finish, and thanks to TG, we had some detective work done. So pretty successful race, I would say. I was waiting for this person. They've already finished, I think. Just letting them do a whole lap. Alright, so that is the only race I have today. I'm intending on doing the GT4 race tomorrow. My brother is coming up into town. He usually leaves super early, so he'll probably be here before that. But then we're doing like a family dinner at my house that night, and depending on what time that is, I
Green light,
might
you go again.
not be able to do the race. We'll see. It may be I end up doing the race and don't stream because I find it very awkward to stream and talk to a camera while I have like 5 family members over. So, but as of now, I'm intending to do that. We've had a lot of fun GT4 series. I think the lowest amount of people we've had in a race was like 10 this season. The race before that we had like 17. So, but it's the final race for that series, and I'm sure we'll bring GT4 back. It seemed pretty popular, but so there'll be a week break with the casual series, and then we'll start the next one, intending to start it the following Sunday. But if we don't have enough signups, we may delay it a week, but should be good participation. It's going to be GT3 based. It's just with a twist, so we'll see what that twist is when we announce it. Probably announce it next week if we get the poster ready and everything. But so yeah, thanks to everybody in the race sticking through the minor frame rate drop, and then thanks to everybody watching the stream. I really appreciate it. Makes the races go by faster being able to talk in the middle of them. So, but yeah, so hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. If not, I'll be back definitely next weekend, and maybe during the week for like a pop-up casual race, if that ends up happening. So yeah, appreciate it, guys, and I will see you guys next time.